Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. Um, I hope you didn't find the last assignment too rigorous. That should be an easy kick now. So, peradventure, if for one reason or other you are unable to get yours done, a link will be in the description of this video that can take you to where we also do our assignments. So you can just follow through and see. You can pick one or two from it. Okay. So we're going to be doing a little revision from last class. From there, we are going to dive into what we have to talk about today. Alright, so in our last class, we started working on Lightning App Builder, right? And we said this helps us to construct our interface such that it comes out in a more beautiful layout. But now, aside that, we're going to be going in depth of this, and we're going to be seeing more things you can actually do with this Lightning App Builder. Okay, so one thing I should call out here is this left hand side. It contains components and field, more like elements, reusable elements. While this right hand side is like the edit place, and this center is the interface you actually design. I think we spotted that last week, but just for emphasis purpose. Okay, so whenever you pick something here, an element here, you drag in here, you edit it here. Does that make sense? Alright, good. So you pick from the left, you drag to the middle, you edit on the right hand side. So let's see how that goes. Okay, so today's class has started already. So let me pick something here to test. Let's say this rich text. Okay, so let me pick it and drag it over here. So I'm going to edit it here, the right hand side, right? So I'm going to click. Let me say we want to just give a note to thank the manager of this account or profile. So thank you for managing this. Say thank you for managing this account. Okay, so we're going to click on save. Can you see it here? And we should hence see it in. So let me refresh this here. So if you see it come up, can you see we now have it up here? Okay, we now have it up here. So we can go further. Let's now say we want to give it a condition. We want to condition it to do certain set of things, or maybe you want to send a prompt, or you want to give a prompt for incentive. Okay, so let's look at some of these details here. This is corporate insurance, right? This is the definition of corporate insurance. Alright, so let's say automobile coverage amount. Let me reduce this. Okay. Regardless of whatever I do, let me use 5,000. Okay. So let's say for every organization that comes to insure their automobile and their coverage amount is more than 45,000, right? Give them a 30% discount. Okay, so let's just say we want that prompt to work for any organization insuring their automobile with over 45,000. Okay, now know that condition is already those are the two conditions to create the prompt. Once you start working on it, you understand what I'm saying better. Take for instance, if I say Kyle and Joe have to come and meet me tomorrow morning before we start the meeting. do you know that that statement carries two conditions? If only Kyle comes, we are not starting the meeting. If only Joe comes, we are not starting the meeting. So if Kyle and Joe comes, we are starting the meeting. That's the same thing that is happening. So we want to put in two conditions: automobile and above 45,000. So if, for instance, they come to insure home with even 45,000, they are not getting that benefit, right? So because the condition is automobile and 45,000. So let's go back into our app builder. So let's say here now, let me just drag this here and put it at this point. Okay, so edit on the right hand side, right? The note should be give, let's say, give esteemed our esteemed clients a 10% bonus. Okay, so that is the prompt, right? So let's say, so that it will be properly seen, let me give it red, yellow, blue, something quite big. Okay, I'm gonna click done. Oh, sorry, I should highlight that. Blue, done. Let me make it bold. Yeah. Let me increase the size to like 16, so no one will see the can't see it. Sure, let me change this color to red so it will be better, it will be clearer, right? Let me see red. Yeah, sharp red. Alright, so what else should we do? Made it okay, bold. Yeah, it's now bold. I want to increase the size, I want it bigger. I want it to become bigger, yeah. So I click on save. Right? The next thing is to condition it. Okay? Now, what we are going to do is to add filter. You see this set component visibility? It comes along with everything. If I click on this place now, you see that its details has changed, but component visibility is still here, right? Exactly. So I'm going to come back here and I'm going to click component visibility. So we are going to filter, add filter. Okay, so the first condition, right, is on what? Insurance type to be automobile, isn't it? So let's come here, insurance type equals to, right, automobile. Good. Done. Condition 1 met. We are going to add filter again for the second condition. Let's say the not payment plan. What is the second condition? Coverage amount, right? We said it should be greater than 45,000. 45,000. Okay. Click on what? Done. Those two conditions are okay. Now show components when all filter are true, any filter are true, the filter logic is met. Now all filter are true means when these two are in check, the prompt should come. Any filters are true, that is if one of it comes at all, the prompt should come. That is if you are giving it a condition that states this or this, but now it is this and this. That's why we are using this first one. Leave this last one for now. We are going to talk about it in later class. Okay, so we are going to follow this one. Okay, so we hit what? Save. So let's go back to our Let's go back to our org to test that out. Okay, so I'm going to refresh this, reload. What is happening? Reload. Okay, clear thing here. This prompt is here already. Let's check if the conditions were met, right? They are showing what? Automobile, and the coverage amount is way even more than 45,000. That's why the prompt is here. So let me remove this amount and let me bring it down to let me bring the amount down to, let's say, 32,000. I'm showing with 32,000. Okay, and click save. Let's see what happens. The prompt is gone. That is, the two conditions are not met. So you can use that to condition various things on the interface. Just play around with it. So even if, okay, let's say we want to, let's try something else. Let's put this to home, and let's say I'm showing with 64,000. 1, 2, 3. Click save. You see that still the prompt will not come because the conditions are not met, right? But if we change this one now to automobile, meeting those two conditions, voila, the prompt will be there. So those are the ways you can use. No, you can come across, or you can even use it to control certain sets of field that is not needed for certain users. Okay, so if you do not feel this, don't see this, you can just use it to tweak a whole lot of things around it. Okay, let's try working with another condition. Before then, I want us to try something. Okay, let's talk about this field. Let's go into this field and see what it entails. So we're going to delete this guy and assume he's not here. And go to fields. Okay, so so I want to drag this field section in here first. You can decide to make it single color or double. Okay, so I haven't done that. Then the next thing is to keep dragging the field as you want it into this place. Let's say you want to put beneficiary. Okay, let's say you want to drag next of kin. Okay, so it's just a way to format the interface how you think it, because there are times where you can come across some hogs whereby you have a whole lot of fields that are not needed for certain set of users. So you can easily use this to condition it. Okay, if you don't fill this point, you don't need this set of fields, so you won't see it. Okay, so that's what we are trying to do here. So let's say last number verified. Let's say payment plan. Let's have payment plan again. Let me make payment plan. Okay, into that insurance name. Payment plan no enter. Payment plan, right? Okay, so let's process. Okay, so let's try to create another session under it. You can drag this here and put it right on that. Observe, I put it up at the point where it marks this blue and bring down the line. That is, he wants to put it next to it. So this one I'm going to make it a single column. Okay. So here I want to put let me see, effective dates and expiration date. So expiration date. Okay, now, so why I'm putting these two is, okay, let's say I want to create a condition such that if your payment plan is monthly, your payment plan is monthly, this form should come up for you to fill. Okay, so you can easily rename that this section here and call it let's just call it plan date. Okay, click on save. All right. So now this guy is what we want to condition, like this whole section, this whole section. Perfect. Okay, I need to do is come here, then I'll do what? Add filter. Are you with me? Okay, I'll add filter. So I don't want this guy to show unless this guy is set to monthly, right? So I'm going to say payment plan. Equals to monthly. Good. I click on done. You see that the moment we place that condition, this eye pops up, which shows us that there is a condition to seeing it, right? So therefore, I'm going to click save. Then we'll go to our org now to see how that plays out. Okay. I just give it a little time to load there. Okay. So you see that this interface should change. Neutral. It's loading. Why is it taking time? Okay. Can you see that this section has changed and the payment plan section is not there because our payment plan is annual? So let me edit this guy now and make it where is monthly? Hilarious. It won't work. Don't you have monthly? Okay, for the sake of time, let me just change that condition in here. So edit this and make it quarterly. Right, done. Save. I'm gonna reload this page now. I see that this other section that we need to fill already come. So that's just the way you can use it to condition and rearrange your interface. Okay, so we still have this guy here, this pop-up for 45,000, right? So I didn't include that in my section here, but I can actually also drag. Let's do that. Let's see how it plays. So all we need is coverage amount, isn't it? I'm gonna bring coverage amount. I'm gonna move this guy. Or let me just delete this guy. Okay. Coverage amount 5,000. The payment plan should be annual. Alright. So let me click on save and let's see how that plays out. Okay. So let's come back here, reload, and see if it will work along with it. Okay, so 54,000. Insurance type, we don't have insurance type yet, so let me come back here. Insurance type, let me remove this guy. Insurance type, first of all, where are you? Insurance type. Okay, so I'm gonna delete this guy and let's see how I've done this out. Okay, I want to redo this now. Okay, so we have automobile and 64,000. So if I change this guy from being automobile and then change it to something else, and let's see the results. Voila, the prompt is gone. Do you see that? So that's just basically controlling the interface from that end. Now we've talked about components, we talked about fields, we talked about this guy. Now let's talk about buttons, because if I try to do anything here, nothing will work. Okay, so that's why there's this call of action here. Upgrade now. But that simply means you want to, okay, let me click on it, then we'll see what it prompts out. I'll explain that. Okay, can you see it brings out migrate and start from scratch. Start from scratch simply means it's going to clear out everything, then you start inputting new buttons, arranging it the way you want. But we're going to use migrate. Okay, we're going to use migrate because we want it to convert the existing one such that we can easily move it here and there. Okay, so now that on its own, okay, all right, so which one are we using? Let's say we are updating from insurance layout to finish. Let's see what we get. So now we have access to all of this. I decide that okay, I want 5 buttons to be here. Can you see that's changed to 5? So you can do all sorts by just moving things here and there and there. Okay. Let's say I want to give it also a condition, right? But before then, can we do anything to this guy? That we use contact layout to draft out. I want to see if they have anything as such. Good. Assign compact layout. Set field using compact layout. Okay. Let's leave that for now. So I want to condition these buttons. So let's say we want to give it a condition such that trying to look for the best kind of stuff I can. Okay. I want to set it such that new contact should not come if this thing is not a corporate insurance. This new contact should not show. This prompt should not come if it is not a corporate insurance. So let's see how that goes. This is new contact, right? So let's look for it right here. that, add filter. That should be on our process, right? It is not. Let me see if we can use record type. Let's use this advanced. Select record types. Record type. Okay, let's stick to what is familiar so we don't bring up any complication. We are going to really go into that end in some of the classes in future. Okay, all right, so let me just put it here. Let me leave it at this field record. Let me say process, right, equals to it should only come if process equals to let's ID verification. Okay, let's assume the button is a button that should link you up to a place or to another website for verification, right? Okay, so let's use this ID verification. So once you get to ID verification, the button come up for you to verify, right? Click on done. Let me use. We created something like go to Google last time. Alright, done. Let's leave that as save. So I'm going to save and I'm going to test it out and see how it works. So all of these things we are doing is called dynamic forms. So that is the topic for today's class, dynamic form. So all of these things is just simply dynamic form. Okay, so oh, excellent. Can you see that that new stuff is no more here? Just because we said unless we are on verification. I'm not sure it will work for this fact. Wait, what exactly do we do? Let me be sure. Verify. Let me come back here. Good. Now you can see that we have the O5 here. It just took some time to load. The O5 here. Then because it's not yet on ID verification. So once you get this ID verification, because we are on ID verification, that's how this new contact is. So if I click on KYC verification, can you see that that particular prompt is no longer there? But the moment you get to ID verification, it's going to bring that prompt for you to do whatever you need to do. So basically, those are the dynamic forms that you can actually do. We talked about the aspect for components, for fields, and we also talk about buttons and actions, right? Okay. So basically, that will be all for today's class. So see you in the next class.